It's a spectacular Sunday in the Wisconsin countryside about an hour north of Milwaukee. At Elkhart Lakes Road America, fans have settled in around the course to see the drivers of the Q3 Architecture TA2 Series take on this challenging 4-mile, 14-turn racetrack. Gorgeous day, temperature low to mid-70s, a little overcast beginning to come in, but no threat of rain whatsoever. This area is going under a heat advisory the next couple days, but it is perfect conditions today for a motor race, and we've got a great one coming up at America's National Park of Speed. And hi, everybody, from Road America, Alan Bestwick with former NASCAR Cup champion crew chief Andy Petrie. At a race course the drivers just love to compete at.
It is one of the most unique race courses in all of the United States, and it's what's not to like, right? It's got everything a driver or team would want. Long straightaways, high braking zones, passing opportunities everywhere, carousel. It's got everything, and it's so beautiful here to come up to race.
It's a spectacular atmosphere and a wonderful race course, and a tasty treat for you today. Elio Meza, the young driver who's dominated the Q3 Architecture TA2 Series this year, winning all but one race, will be challenged by Matthew Brabham, the driver who's dominated the Trans Am Series by Pirelli this year, winning all but one race, and they're side-by-side on the front row in team cars.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what kind of a battle this shapes up to be because, like you said, both of them have dominated their series. They're now together in one. And this is the first time, really, we've seen somebody take it to Meza. I mean, one-on-one, actually beating for the pole. So team cars on the front row, it's going to be fun.
Nate Dreyer is going to patrol the pit lane for us throughout our afternoon of competition, and he's down there now along the grid to talk to some of the drivers.
That's right, and let's start right at the front. Let's start with that storyline of the two teammates getting ready to battle. Our points leader is Elio Meza, the youngster who's been dominant this year. 5 times you've been on pole and won the race. Not quite going to be able to do that today. How much fun has it been? How much have you learned racing and being out of the same hauler as Matthew Brabham this weekend?
No, it's been awesome. Obviously, Matt just won the TA race this morning and all his success this year. But I learned a lot with him. It's funny, yesterday after qualifying, went to congratulate him. He's like, you shared way too much with me. So from now on, I'll keep my mouth shut when it comes to sharing info with Matt. But no, I'm super excited to have him up here with us. And it was only, I think, 100th difference between me and Matt. So we're really close out there. It'll be a good race. We have a long day about right behind us. So it's exciting. I'm ready for this battle that we're going to have at this special track, Road America. So appreciate all you guys for coming out and watching. Shout out to Racing America, Alessandro's Racing, Heraldo Media Group, Chevrolet, and Team SLR for giving me these opportunities. And, can't make the most of it.
All right, good luck today. We can't wait to watch it.
Thank you.
All right, so let's move from the outside of that front row to a guy that's pulling some double duty here today. He's already gone to victory lane once. He's already sat on pole once. He'll be doing it again. Matthew Brabham, I guess. Let's start with this. How did the deal come together? Why? And how much fun have you had getting in a TA2 car this weekend?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a lot of fun. But, no, I've always watched this series. I've been involved in TA for quite a few years now. And I still think that the TA cars are way more fun to drive. But these look more fun to race. So I've seen them racing side by side. And some of those kids have come in and raced with us. And I thought, hey, why not myself come and give these kids a run for their money? And I talked to Scott Lagacy, and he was super into the idea, and we managed to make it work for this weekend. And it's been awesome so far. I had so much fun. I'm kind of unknown going into this race of how it's going to play out. It's new for me, but it's been a lot of fun.
All right, we can't wait to watch it, and good luck going for the doubleheader sweep.
Oh, cheers, man. Appreciate it.
So that's Matthew Brabham. So that's both battlers on that front row. Team cars, Alon Day, he's been right there pace-wise, along with his two teammates all year, really been showing that speed. Gian Bufamonte has been fast throughout the weekend. The youngster, the top Toyota heading into today's race, and he was fastest in one of the test sessions to start the week. Here's a unique story, a local driver, Ethan Jacobs, a family team. You're from Oshkosh, Wisconsin. It's your first ever Trans Am race, and you're starting in the third row. That impressive in qualifying, that impressive all weekend long. What's it been like? I know you're drinking out of a fire hose a little bit. How much fun has it been?
Like you said, I've been drinking out of a fire hose. It's a new car, new team. I mean, this is completely different than anything I've ever done. I come from the Miata stuff, so to be able to be here at my home track and run the TA2 car, it's just a super fun time. I've learned a ton. Yesterday, I think, was the hardest I've ever driven a car ever. So to be able to do that and put it in the third row, like you said, is super, super fun. Wouldn't be able to do it without JDH Racing, my crew, my dad, Oliver, JC. They've all been a huge help, and we've made massive improvements after each session. So I couldn't be more happy with where I'm at right now.
All right, we wish you luck. It's been a lot of fun. It's been impressive, and hopefully you're moving forward in the race.
Thank you, sir.
That's Ethan Jacobs, the youngster that's been really impressive in the 91. A couple more team guys, both of the Tovo twins, the 15-year-olds Ethan and Jackson. They've had a lot of great pace the last couple of weeks. Laney Bice starts in the SLR M1 car. Just behind that, the 27 as well. The front of the grid is absolutely loaded, guys. It is going to be a fun race. The show at the front's going to be good, but there's a ton of talent right there, right behind, getting ready for this TA2 race at Road America. It's as good of a racetrack as you're going to find for these type of cars. You heard Matthew Brabham say it. He thinks these cars are going to race incredibly well. And Alan and Andy, I think we're going to be on for an incredible show here today at Road America.
Can't disagree.
No, I can't either. I'm really looking forward to this battle, and just to hear Matthew Brabham say why he's doing it.
Yeah.
He just wants to come see how they measure up. He wants to see how they race and go wheel to wheel.
Matthew Brabham has won already once today in the Trans Am Series race this morning. If he can sweep the day, he'll do something that's only been done once before. More on that when we continue from Wisconsin.
Okay, so pretend this is your race car. It's on the trailer, and you have an accident. Ouch! At least your truck's insurance will pay for another one? Yeah, not so fast. Standard insurance won't replace your race car, whether it's in the trailer, in the paddock, in the garage, or the repair shop. But at Hagerty, we can protect it for what it's really worth anytime it's off the track. No matter what or where you race, offer less than a set of race tires. Hagerty, let's drive together.
Back live at Road America, where the Q3 Architecture TA2 Series goes racing today in the Cheese Capital Cup. So this race course is such an important part of the surrounding community and such an important asset to the surrounding community as well. Nearby in Plymouth, the next town over from where Road America is located, is that they're celebrating the Cheese Capital Festival this weekend. And so Friday night, the race course took all of the teams, many of them from Trans Am and the Q3 Architecture TA2 Series and so on, and with a police escort took their race cars down Wisconsin Highway 67 into downtown Plymouth, where thousands of race fans awaited to meet and greet the drivers and celebrate Trans Am racing being here at Road America.
What an amazing event. I mean, take these things down the highway, take them to town, people lining the streets, a lot of energy. That was really something neat to see.
A lot of kids involved, a lot of fun, and what a great community involvement in our Trans Am weekend here at Road America with the Cheese Capital celebration. The Cheese Capital Cup is going to get started shortly. Let's go back down to pit road and Nate.
Race fans, at this time, we please ask that you rise and remove your hats with today's invocation. Please welcome from Road Race Ministries, Marvin Gray.
Let us pray. Father God, we thank you for the opportunity to race here in the beauty of your creation, this amazing National Park of Speed. We are blessed to be here every year. And now we ask your blessing and protection on our troops and safety forces to protect us And Lord, as we move towards our 250th anniversary, Lord, we thank you for all those who have risked and even given their lives that we may live in this amazing, amazing country. And now we ask that you would bless and protect our drivers, our crew, the officials, all the workers, all the track personnel, all that are helping us put this on. And we thank you for our fans. Bless them. It is always awesome that they are here supporting us. And now, Lord, we pray for those people who are in Venezuela. I pray that you would come and bring recovery, support them, be with them, bring the supplies they need there for the earthquakes. And Lord, we pray for an end to the fighting in Ukraine, a just peace, and we pray for the Middle East that you would bring a just peace there. And we ask all those things in your precious name, Jesus. Amen.
Thank you, Marvin. Now, ladies and gentlemen, presenting the nation's colors, the Color Guard Detail from Coast Guard Station Sheboygan. Please remain standing for today's presentation of the national anthem. Please welcome Chuck Butler.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Time for the drivers to buckle aboard and get ready to go racing at Road America. A 100-mile sprint ahead for the Q3 Architecture TA2 Series. And the green flag is next here on Racing America.
Rev up and get ready for race day with Mission Foods. The world's best racers and tastiest products come together to make every race delicious. Fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help you be race ready with easy to make recipes that will take your race day to the finish line. Keep your racing delicious and enjoy all the mouth-watering action. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Too fast, too tasty.
Big news for car lovers everywhere. Now you can get Next Gen at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store. Every Next Gen formula is built with advanced ceramic technology, and that means a deep gloss finish, serious protection, and long-lasting durability for your paint. World-class racing teams trust Next Gen to protect their race cars under the toughest conditions. And you can trust Next Gen to protect your car every day. Find Next Gen ceramic protection at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Get ready for race day with Stack Auto Lifts. The world's fastest racers and the most trusted garage lifts come together to elevate every moment on and off the track. From rugged 4-post lifts and powerful 2-post systems to space-saving single-post and scissor lifts, Stack Auto Lifts delivers strength, precision, and performance for every garage. Brought to you by Stack Auto Lifts, Created by racers for racers. Proud partner of Race America for the 2026 season.
Welcome to RacingAmerica.tv. From the local short tracks to the road racing stars of Trans Am, we have you covered. Subscribe now for live access to over 200 grassroots races streaming all season long. Watch anytime, anywhere on your phone, tablet, or TV apps. Get a 10-year archive of grassroots races, plus behind-the-scenes NASCAR team coverage. And when the spotlight turns to Trans Am, Racing America brings you front-row access to the action. This is racing at every level. This is Racing America.
A live look at the grid at Road America, where the field for the Q3 Architecture TA2 Series, round 7 of this season, is lined up. You see the crews have cleared away, just those attending to the driver as they buckle aboard, and we're going to go racing here for 25 laps, 100 miles, very, very shortly. This field is stout. This field is thick. It is that way every week. But one man has dominated the season so far, Elio Meza. It is fascinating to see how he'll fare today with Matthew Brabham in a team car alongside.
It was interesting to see how his reaction to that was. He was looking forward to the challenge, looked like. So,
very much.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see.
Got a good fight going on in the Pro-Am category. Remember, 2 classes of drivers within these Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series races, the professional drivers and the Pro-Am drivers. Jared Hondrick was the top qualifier of the Pro-Am drivers. He's been the hot hand this season, though after a mechanical difficulty, there's Jared's car, that 00 car, top right of your screen. There it is. Though the former number 1 round draft pick in the NFL had a mechanical issue last weekend at Indianapolis, and so his competitor is a little closer on his heels for the Pro-Am championship. And again, Jared, the fast qualifier in that group for today's race. Now, one other slight factor to bring in. My pal Pilot Petrie here was just looking at his weather radar, and we got a little something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, maybe. It looks like a little cell system a little bit to the west of us. I don't know how the weather actually works up here with all the Great Lakes and everything around, but it's moving this way. I don't think it'll make it here by the end of the race, but it's a little bit of a threat.
Something to keep an eye on as we go through the day here. Of course, the rain tire is always available, but the forecast is for a dry track and great racing conditions through the day. You saw 73 degrees and now a little bit overcast, the conditions for our afternoon go here at Road America. So all gridded up on the field. We've got 31 cars ready to go. The distance today is 25 laps around this 4-mile race course. And so far this season, it has been Elio Meza who has won 5 of the 6 races. The only one he didn't win was the round at Lime Rock Memorial Day weekend, where there was rain that impacted the race conditions. But Meza starting on the outside of the front row for this one, and the championship leader coming in. Time to go trackside to Nate Dreyer.
That's right, race fans. It is time for the most famous words in motorsports. To give the command for today's race, please welcome today's Grand Marshal from Garage Living, a great Racing America partner offering garage restoration, renovation, and makeover services. We present the Director of Operations, Kevin Lamb, for today's command.
Thank you. We at Garage Living are thrilled to be partnering with Racing America and especially being at Road America this weekend. It's a great weekend of racing. And with that, drivers, start your engines!
So we're ready to go with our 100-mile Q3 Architecture TA2 Series sprint here at Road America. This race course has been around since 1955, carved out of this beautiful 600-plus acre plot by a highway engineer named Cliff Tufte, looking for a way to move the racing off the streets of the nearby village onto a permanent course. Much of the track as it sits today, except for all the amenities that have been built for the spectators and competitors over the years, the race course itself almost identical to what it was in 1955.
Wow, you got to give him credit for just such a magnificent race course. It kind of winds through all these beautiful areas of this great landscape. Not a real wide track. You see the racing surface is It's wide enough. It's just not overly wide, but just a beautiful place. Up and down, a lot of elevation. Just a great place.
So let's take a look at the 4-mile Road America course. It'll challenge the drivers and teams this afternoon over 100 miles of racing.
Yeah, like I said, there is some elevation changes, and it starts really right on the front straightaway as you come up from the last turn. It's a pretty decent little hill climb all the way up to the start-finish line where it kind of levels off. You can kind of see the 3D image here. Come past the start-finish line, downhill slightly to turn 1, hard right-hander, then sweep over to turn 3, which takes you down this straightaway. They call a turn 4 there, pretty straight, but then the high-speed left-hander, hard break in turn 5, then to turn 6, little right-hander at 7, and then this other 90-degree left-hand turn 8 to the carousel. This is a really interesting part of the track. Go down past the kink, which is turn 11, all the way down to Canada corner. We call that turn 12. 13, sweeping left-hander to that turn 14, the last turn on the track, uphill to the start-finish line.
It's a roller coaster of uphill, downhill, heavy braking zones, high-speed straightaways, parts of the track where you're holding your breath from behind the wheel, like that turn 11 top of the screen. It's a challenging 4-mile, 14-turn lap that these drivers will take on for 25 laps on the day today. Just the one pace lap for these cars because it's a track of 4 miles around. So a look at the starting lineup. You've got Matthew Brabham and Elio Meza, dominant drivers on the season in different divisions, racing head-to-head today.
And Alon Day there, he was the one that's actually hoping for rain today because he likes the wet track, but he's starting in third. He's getting a little bit closer to his teammate Elio Meza. And then you got the Toyota of Gian Buffamane that's there in fourth.
The Ethans in row 5, Ethan Tovo and Ethan Jacobs, the local driver from Wisconsin with a great qualifying run. The rest of the top 10, Noah Harmon, one of the top in the championship. He's a little farther back on the grid than he might want to be. You've got Adrian Vostowski after a tough week in Indianapolis, qualifying a struggle for him a little bit. He's back in 12th position on the grid. You see Jared Odrick, the Pro-Am leader, back in 19th in the starting lineup. And look at the rest of the grid for today's Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series race at Road America. So this is the second of back-to-back races for these drivers and teams. They raced last weekend at Indianapolis. They race here at Road America. It's the only time all season they run back-to-back races. There are 2 weekends where they run double headers and back-to-back days. But this involved changing locations. A lot of the teams set up shop in temporary locations over the week. Everything from a grocery store under construction parking lot to the Howe Engineering offices over in Michigan, one of the 3 chassis providers for the series, and everything in between. And they've come here to Road America, worked on their cars, had a test day, a practice and qualifying day, and now it's race day for these drivers and teams as they get ready to go.
On board here with Noah Harmon. Great run last week at Indy. Looking forward to hopefully moving that up a little bit this week.
So field working its way now through the kink. This is a hairy, hairy corner at speed. It looks pretty wide from that camera angle. It's not. And one slip results in a big consequence for everybody. Look at some of the onboard views we have for you today. Mentioned Adrian Vostowski, one of the top drivers in the championship through most of this season. Slipped back after a tough day at Indianapolis, looking to make up some lost ground today here in the Wisconsin countryside. And they come now to turn number 12 of 14. Canada corner, that heavy braking zone. Look at all the tire marks and the lockups from some of the racing action we've had already this day and this weekend here at Road America. So the field coming up now, turn 13, turn 14. They'll double up and get formed up for racing competition. It's 25 laps. There is a 75-minute time limit on this race. As always, this race a year ago, rough and rugged would be a way to describe it. What will it be today? And who's going to come out on top? Will it be Meza continuing? Will Brabham at his first try in a TA2 car be the guy that masters it? Lights staying on top of the safety car. We're going to go another lap behind the pace car before we go racing. Trying to get some things sorted in the starting order. And we'll get everybody one more lap around, and we'll go back racing. So, Jackson Tovo Had a tough week in Indianapolis last week. Has some ground to make up. And the 1 to go signal is confirmed, and the field will go racing next time by the start-finish line. So these first couple laps will be a real challenge for these drivers. These heavy braking zones, turn 1, lap 1, turn 3, lap 1, turn 5, lap 1. We've seen all kinds of chaos and mayhem in those corners in prior races here for this series.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of chances being taken on those first couple of corners just to try to get that track position, because it is going to be, even though there's a lot of opportunities to pass, it's difficult to pass on a road course. You can see just, this shot shows you a little bit of how narrow the track is.
Yeah.
So you'll see that as they're gridded up here side by side, and they'll go down in these braking zones. Turn 1 being the first one, they'll probably be pushing the issue when we get to turn 1.
They'll be using that runoff area that exists out there to drivers left. So I mentioned earlier on a little teaser that one driver had won both the Trans Am Series by Pirelli and the Q3 Architecture TA2 Series race on the same day. That driver is?
I don't know.
Connor Zilisch.
Connor Zilisch.
Who won them both on the same day. Of course, now
another superstar.
Making his name in the NASCAR Cup Series, racing out on the West Coast today. Matthew Brabham, earlier today, won the Trans Am Series by Pirelli race here. Started on pole and dominated. Got pushed for a little while by Paul Menard. Then Menard had some difficulties and fell off the pace. A late yellow for a crash set up a one-lap restart to the finish. A lot of mayhem behind Brabham in that one, but he got away to score the win. So he is in position to do the double.
He had a fairly easy Trans Am race. I don't think this one's going to be as easy. We'll find out.
It's partly what he doesn't know also. How did these cars fall off, change, differ over 100 miles? It's the first time he's ever raced in one of these.
And the tires are quite a bit different than the Trans Am cars. The Trans Am cars have a lot wider rear tire, and actually wider all the way around, than these TA2 cars. So it's going to be a little different on how you conserve them, slide them around. What will they take under braking? Wheel hop's an issue with these cars as well.
Trans Am Series is a sequential shift lever. Forward or back is it. This is an H-pattern shifter on board these TA2 cars.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't get confused here.
Well,
it's happened before.
I heard it might have happened once this weekend already. That fourth to third thing that doesn't go to third, it goes to first. It's tricky when you're not used to doing that. And so that's another one of the challenges that Matthew will face today. And you're right, Elio Meza, who's just dominated everything this season except that one race in that 28 car on the outside of the front row. I've asked him 3 different times this weekend, so how do you feel about this? And each time he's like, no, I'm excited. This is great. It's going to be fun to race against him and see how I stack up.
I don't think he's acting either. I think he really is up for the challenge. He wants to see, and I think he's pretty confident too. Yeah. He's the man that's been the one to beat here, so it's up to Brabham to see if he can do it.
Great qualifying run for Gian Buffamonti from the Chicago area. That 95 car, his dad, Tony, has done a lot of racing with a lot of success here. A former champion in this series. Gian looking to see if he can put his name on top of the winners list at Road America. A track that he has. I talked to him in the paddock the other day. How do you like this place? Huge smile on his face. He said, this is like home, and I can't wait to take a shot at it. So lights out on the pace car, and the field forms up here into the final corner. The 48 blue roof, white sides, that's Matthew Brabham. The 28, the red roof and the white sides, is Elio Meza. They'll lead this field of 31 up the hill to the start line. And round 7 of the Q3 Architecture TA2 Series today at Road America in Wisconsin gets underway. There's the green flag. Racing is on, down to turn 1. They all got through so far, and Meza is out in front.
Yeah, he did that from the outside of turn 1. That was pretty impressive.
Clean start through the first 3 corners. They charge down the hill to the big braking zone at turn number 5. Now the run uphill to turn number 6. Tight spot. Tough little complex here. The right-hand turn 7, then a big straightaway downhill to a heavy braking zone. And side by side, 7 is Noah Harmon. 10 is Ethan Tovo.
A little bit of contact between these two. Still haven't settled it. It's like Harmon charges. Yeah, they're still side by side.
This is for 7th place.
Now Harmon's going to be on the outside of this carousel. That's going to be a difficult pass.
Oh, boy.
Uh-huh.
Good job not to throw it away there. Give up the spot and have a chance to race it. Here they come through the kink. Tricky turn number 11. Get off to the left there. It's going to be big. Back uphill through turn 13. Set the brakes into turn 14 and gather all the momentum you can, because it's a long run up the hill down this main straightaway. So lap number 1 is going to be led by Elio Meza from the outside of the front row. He gets the jump on Brabham and leads the first lap. Brabham will be second, Alonde third, Gian Buffamati fourth. Moving up to fifth is Ethan Jacobs. Jackson Tovo is sixth, Ethan Tovo seventh, Noah Harmon 8th, Laney Bikes 9th, and a challenge here. We've got one car with the nose caved in a little bit. Is that Jackson Tovo? Yes, as his brother Ethan goes by. So the nose of Jackson Tovo's number 30 Toyota there is wrinkled up. He's had contact with somebody.
Yeah, pretty flat up there on the right head of the hood.
With these TA2 cars and where they cool from, how big an issue is that going to be?
I think where the damage is, I don't expect it to be a cooling issue.
Look at it here as
definitely not ideal. There's no harm in making a move.
Yep.
On
Goes to his inside. Yeah.
Harmon gets that spot.
I'm kind of surprised the accordion wasn't worse than it looked like it was going to be in turn number 1. These drivers did a great job to get through there. Look from the drone at turn number 8. Heavy braking zone there. Now, you talked about this earlier, that tricky carousel.
Yeah, this is a long, sweeping right-hand turn, and you got to put a premium on this corner because so much time can be gained and lost there, especially on the exit of this corner. This carousel carries that speed down the hill.
See that grass creep, they call it, on the outside of the kink there. These cars and drivers using all of it. They keep their foot in it. So Elio Meza gets away from Matthew Brabham at the start, sets a gap of about a second and change. Brabham facing a challenge here from Alonde.
I think one of the things here with Meza, I think he has just so much more experience with this car.
Yep.
In the start of this race, I think he just took advantage of Brabham. I expect that Brabham will, you know, hopefully be able to challenge, but he wasn't quite as ready as Meza was on the start.
It's got to be tricky jumping back and forth, right? He just ran 100 miles in a Trans Am car that has a totally, I mean, it's not quite, but it's almost double the horsepower from one machine to the next, right? Trans Am car, 900 horsepower. These cars about 450 or 60 or so.
Yeah, it is a big difference in power. The power, like I said, is different. The gearbox and everything is, and it's pretty hard to take somebody like that's on absolutely the top of their game like Meza is. And challenge turn 1 at the start of the race. He's going to have enough time here. He has 23 more laps to try to figure it out. Brabham will, and I'm sure he will. But Meza just been amazing this year.
He has been incredible. Here's Alonde looking to the inside of Brabham, showing the nose. Those are team cars for SLR, the Legacy group there. So you've got Alonde, who's second in the championship. Right now running third in line, and his rival for the title is on the other side of that Matthew Brabham car. Alonde, the 4-time NASCAR Euro Series champion from Israel.
Yeah, I talked to him earlier this weekend. He's a little frustrated that he's not able to close the gap on Meza. I mean, he has closed it a little, but he's not able to really take the fight to Elio, and he's getting frustrated. He wants to win like everybody, but he's driving a team car, knows the car is there, So I can see how it gets frustrating. And the cars are so close together. I mean, you're seeing just a really small difference in the lap times of these cars. And Scott Lagasse doing a good job. He got the top 3 right now.
You've been involved in multi-car teams, right? As a crew chief, as a team owner. What's the first job of a driver in a multi-car team?
Be the fastest of your team.
That's right.
It's really good, too, to have healthy competition within a team. It drives the whole organization up.
So you've got these 3 Chevrolets at the front of the pack. Then the Toyota Camry of Gian Buffomani right there behind Day, running in 4th position. On board Ethan Tobo here, trying to move up from 6th spot. Tobo, the 15-year-old from Chicago, now living in the Charlotte, North Carolina area. Comes into this weekend off a pretty solid run at Indianapolis last Sunday where he finished 4th. Though he and Noah Harmon were both awarded 3rd place points by Trans Am officials because there was they were having some radio challenges communicating from race control for all the teams to hear before that last restart. And after much discussion, they decided that in all fairness to both parties, they would award them both 3rd place points on the day at Indianapolis.
Well, that's a unique solution, but yeah, I guess it worked. Last lap, Brabham half a second faster than Meza. So this is going to be interesting to see if he can close that gap some more. And Alonde still putting pressure on Brabham.
What's he doing there? Just showing the nose in the mirror to let him know he's there, or is there some cooling?
Yeah, some of the technique of this, especially going down in that corner, I've seen before. You offset a little bit for the car in front of you. You get a little more downforce on the car and able to get a little more braking action. So that's probably what's going on with Alonde. They're just trying to offset a little bit as you go into those high braking zones.
Buffomani running in 4th, staying right with these leaders. Gian, the 95 car. The 18-year-old from Naperville, Illinois. Nitro Motorsports fielding this Toyota Camry in his 2nd season of TA2 competition. Finished 4th in the championship a year ago. He's had kind of a tough luck start to the first half of this season, but things are getting better as we've got a car off. Sat down in turn 6 in the gravel trap. Looks like everybody has continued away and kept going. Looks like it was the 16 of Jim Gallagher and the 24 of Brad McAllister. McAllister, one of the TA Sprint drivers, just added to this field about an hour before race time, and Gallagher, one of the Pro-Am drivers from the Seattle area. And everybody's cleared the gravel trap, and we stay green after that trouble in turn 6.
Yeah, one thing I've seen as the season's progressed is these Toyotas weren't quite as good at the very beginning of the season, but they closed up a little bit to these Chevrolets in performance, and you're seeing it play out a little bit last week and this week too, with Buffomani and the Tobo cars running right there behind them.
Gian Stantoni was a winner here August 27, 2016 in TA2 competition. So Gian trying to make it like father, like son here at Road America.
A couple laps in a row now, Brabham's been quicker than Meza. That last lap just a few hundredths, but still a little bit quicker.
One of the things that I think Elio Meza does really well, your perspective on this, please, but he just understands how to manage a gap, right? He'll push for a few laps and try and set a gap, and then he knows how to pace himself to still be going, but just manage that gap back and save a little bit for later laps if he needs it.
You know, it's easier to maintain or manage a gap when you have the fastest car. But when you got somebody that's really going to push you, like Brabham, I expect will. I don't know how well you can manage a gap. You just hope to have a gap to somebody like Matthew Brabham.
Last lap by. Meza ran a 2-minute 12.282, and Brabham ran a 2-minute 12.202. So 0.08 of a second was just the difference between them in Brabham's favor that last lap by. A little farther back, the Pro-Am leader is Jared Odrick. He's running in 16th position.
That's up a few spots from the starting spot.
Yep, started 19th. On board Ethan Tobo here. Watch the speeds as they rocket down this back straightaway toward Canada corner. Downhill braking zone here.
160 down to about 50 miles an hour mid-corner.
Fun. Here's a little knot of traffic that's a fun race for us to go follow. This is back at the back end of the top 10. You're on board with Noah Harmon here, running in 7th.
Oh!
And car's off. That is the 20 car of Seamus McKendry at the end of the straightaway. He's going to get out of the gravel trap. He will.
I think that may have been a wheel hop. Something went wrong under braking.
Well, that was that group we had to look at from behind of about 8 cars. Oh, we got another one. That's Jared Ondrick, who has had trouble down there in turn 12. So our Pro-Am leader has had a moment there. And see how far back it drops him. He's running just behind J.C. Monet. And so that'll put Ondrick back to 25th in line. Maybe more by the time they come to the start finish line.
Yeah, he got turned around there. It took him a minute to get pointed the right direction. This looks like one of the Tovos on pit road.
Yeah, it's Jackson Tovo who had that nose caved in on his
Yeah, maybe it caused some problems up there.
That's tough luck. So a little chaos out of the middle of the field. There goes the hood.
Yep, it looks like it did close up the cooling opening there. I didn't think it would, but apparently so. That's the water overflow from the radiator, you see.
So the team trying to open up some space there. And see if they can get some air to move into the radiator of that car before
the other thing is
out.
The engine inlet is also up there in the nose. They got to make sure that they're getting air to the engine.
Check with Nate.
Yeah, so Tovo in the 30 car, the team had mentioned he was able to see initially still with the damage to that hood up, but they thought it was just going to be aerodynamic on the front. They were going to run them until the car started to overheat. They thought the radiator was okay. Obviously, as we've seen, that's not the case. Getting things buttoned back up and back on his way for Jackson Tovo.
Trouble getting the hood pins in also to hold that hood down after some of the damage there. So tough day, back-to-back weeks for Jackson Tovo. Check the gap up front. Here comes Elio Meza up the hill to start finish. Another one headed to the pit lane. Is that his brother?
It looked like it possibly was the other Tovo's car.
So Ethan Tovo, a lap after his brother came down the pit lane, the other twin is coming in. And this would be unexpected from his spot in the top 5.
I didn't see any damage in his car.
All the way down to the pit exit end of the pit lane. Long drive down there for Ethan. Did he get off the course and have some debris up in that radiator opening too?
One of the officials taking a look.
Also saw the head of that Nitro Motorsports group, Ron Otto, look around. So both Tovo brothers with some early troubles here today. Wow, that's big.
Somebody kicking up dirt.
Yeah, somebody got off the course pretty good there. McKendry's car is also on the pit lane with the hood buckled up on it after that incident down in turn number 12 we saw a minute ago. Got a lot of chaos, but it's all going on deep in the pack, isn't it?
Still got a heated battle right now with Alon Day right up on the deck of Matt Brabham.
Ooh, Nate reporting up from pit lane. The shifter handle broke on Ethan Tovo's car.
Oh, that's not good.
So troubles there for the driver who came in a pretty good spot in the championship. And this is going to slide him back a good bit. He was second in the Rookie of the Year standings to Alon Day coming into the day. And while Alon runs in 3rd place, Ethan is on pit lane. So here comes the leader, Elio Meza. Matthew Brabham records 1.2 seconds behind Meza. Then it's Alon Day in 3rd. Gian Buffalmonte 4th. Noah Harmon has moved up to 5th position. Noah is about 4 seconds behind Buffalmonte, emerging from that thick pack that we saw earlier. So you gap there. There's the red car, Buffamani, just cresting the top of the hill comes Noah Harmon. Ethan Jacobs runs 6th, Laney Bice 7th, Tyler Casera 8th, Gavin Gleitzman is 9th, and Tanner Wright rounds out your top 10. We ride on board with Noah Harmon.
He's in 3rd gear, pulls back into 4th gear. Going to be 150, 60 miles an hour in a hard braking zone. Back to 2nd, back to 1st gear, actually. This is one of the things about these cars. They'll wheel hop a lot sooner than you see a Trans Am car. Tires are narrower. It's just, you know, like I said, the H pattern shifters, there's a bigger difference in between the gear ratios as they downshift.
So you and I were talking earlier as we made our rounds through the paddock Friday and Saturday, the number of teams that were talking about struggling with getting the brake bias just right. If it's not a term someone's familiar with, let's define that, and then why it's such a struggle to get right.
Well, it's trying to get the balance between the front brakes and the rear brakes to maximize, first off, the stopping ability of the car. Then past that, you can use that balance. If the driver has a way to change that front to rear balance in the car with a knob or a handle, but it changes the way the car handles. If you say your car's pushing a little bit, won't turn, you can dial a little bit of rear brake in it. Maybe it doesn't optimize the braking, but it will optimize the handling issues that you might have. So you'll see these cars and drivers use that as a handling tool. The best way to have it is the car balanced without having to, you know, crutch it with a brake balance adjustment and then try to adjust those brake balances to be as efficient as you can to get the car to stop. That way you can just drive down in the corner farther under power, make more lap time.
And we're talking like a balance ratio front to back. Like the front would be 50 and change %. 55, 58, depending on the team, the driver, the way the car's set.
Yeah, and that's going to be the way you call it, you calibrate it to that. You kind of normalize it to that 50-50, then you might put some in the front. But the actual brake balance, you got bigger calipers, bigger rotors on the front. The actual stopping ability is probably more in that 65% front,
yep.
You know, 35% rear of the actual braking action. You do balance that with pressure that you know distribute between the front and the rear.
So something that teams have been, some of the teams really struggling with here this weekend is getting that balance under braking just right. So the top 4 breakaway, Meza, Brabham, Day, and Buffamante, 4 seconds ahead of Noah Harmon in 5th. Here is a group a little farther back. You've got Ethan Jacobs, the 91, in 6th, leading this group. That's Laney Bice in the orange top, blue bottom, white sides Chevrolet, running in 7th spot, and Tyler Casera running in 8th position, though he's a good bit back from this group, 3 seconds back. That's the car of Seamus McKendry, who was on pit road for an unscheduled stop, running at the tail end of that group, and he's not on the lead lap after that unscheduled pit stop with the damaged hood. Talking Laney Bice this morning, she also runs for that Team SLR group that has Alon Day and Elio Meza, and today Matthew Brabham. First time here at Road America in competition in a TA2 car for Laney Bice, and talking about, you know, trying to listen to some of the teammates and study the data and adapt, try and understand where she can be better. It was funny because I was sitting in their team transporter yesterday, and Matthew Brabham was in there on a data computer. And I just walked in to talk to Matthew, see how you like driving a TA2 car, that kind of thing. Well, he's sitting at the counter with the computer in front of him. Alon Day is at his left shoulder. They're discussing different left front shock settings that they were using and how it affected the handling of the car, the data they're seeing. And Elio Meza was standing off to the side, not saying a word, just listening. Laney Bice was sitting on the steps up to the office of the transporter, not saying a word, just listening, trying to soak up all of the information that Matthew Brabham might share.
You're getting ready to see why. Because Brabham has closed this gap now on Meza consistently now, running just a little bit quicker, just chipping away at that lead. And I think before long you're going to see why they were paying so much attention to Matt Brabham and how he goes about, you know, setting his car up and preparing for one of these.
In case you're watching Formula One this morning and just saw that picture, no track limits here in Trans Am racing. If they want to race on it, they can use it.
There's track limits. They're just natural here.
Yeah. Yeah. And in fact, Adrian Blastowski was saying that to me the other day. He said, you know, the tracks where it's all pavement off the corner, or like in the desert where it's just dirt, he said, for some reason, I don't seem to do as well as those where there's green grass right at the side of the racetrack.
Pretty well defined where the limit is.
Yes. He said, you know where the edge is, because it changes color and grip quick. So here is the New York City driver in that car number 3, the CMI Spot On Services Ford Mustang. Adrian right now running in the 10th position, having moved up just a little bit from his place on the grid in 12th. Being challenged there. Running right behind him, the 75 is Tanner Reif, the 20-year-old from Las Vegas, driving the Power Gen Components Chevy Camaro for Silver Hair Racing. Reif, one of those young drivers who's got a lot of talent, but man, he's had a tough luck season.
He really has. His brother had a really tough race a couple weeks ago. Actually, last week at San Diego, coming really close to winning the race.
Tanner
had the last corner.
Tanner had a left rear tire problem at Indianapolis last week that threw the car into the wall at a tough part on the Speedway Grand Prix course. He and his Silver Hair team loaded up and went up to the Howe Engineering chassis shops up in Michigan. It's in Beaverton, Michigan, about 2 hours and change north of Detroit. Turned out to be a whole TA2 race team convention there. It seemed like they had all kinds of different people like Blastowski there working on their cars at the Howe shops. The Howe group even brought in a barbecue truck because these guys were putting in so many hours late at night. Blastowski said his team finished this car that he's driving here, that red and white number 3. They finished wrapping it at 4:30 Thursday morning.
Wow, that's like old times.
The truck left at 5 a.m. to come here to Road America because they had to be here to load in Thursday afternoon for the test day that started on Friday.
I pulled some of those all-nighters in my previous life. That shows how much you want it.
That's right. Back-to-back doubleheader week for these teams for the first time this season.
See right there, his best lap. His last lap just a hair off of his best lap. So he's about as good as he's been so far.
Adrian, one of those guys I talked to that the brake bias and trying to get it settled so the car wouldn't wheel hop and the handling would be as he wanted it into and off the corners was a bit touchy this weekend. Check in on Pro-Am. Saw the Jared Ondrick moment a bit ago that kind of threw him for a loop. So his rival for the Pro-Am Championship, Cale Phillips, has moved up into the number 1 spot. That red number 99 car. Cale Phillips from the Raleigh, North Carolina area, from Durham specifically, driving this Nitro Motorsports Camry. Cale used to work at Team Penske, but not on the race cars. He was an accountant for Team Penske over in the Charlotte area for 8 years. And then his family business kind of called him back and said, okay, you need to come back to the Raleigh-Durham area, take over the family business. That's when he started taking on his own racing. And so here he is, accounting for his laps and his performance in this race car. Bad joke, but I love a good pun.
He does a good job of developing drivers, but you don't think of him coming out of the accounting department.
That's right. Competing for the Pro-Am Championship for the full season this year. Ran a partial schedule the last couple of years. Delightful guy to talk to. 39 years old. Always got a smile on his face. Had a tough race last week in Indianapolis. Got spun. Turn 1, lap 1. Tore the drive shaft out of his car. Spent 12 laps in the garage getting it repaired. And it was only because Jared Ondrick had a mechanical failure and fell out of the Indianapolis race that the championship gap that Phillips is trying to close didn't get made a lot wider. He's racing Tim Carroll here. That orange number 46, 50-year-old driver from Santa Ana, California. Tim, one of the West Coast drivers in the Trans Am Western Series, the TA2 West Coast competition. Didn't plan on making this swing. Wanted to race in Indianapolis. Got it together for there. Really wanted to race at Road America following when they got through Indianapolis cleanly. Tim flew home because he had his day job to go to back in California while a team member drove the transporter here to Wisconsin. Tim flew back. They jumped underneath the car on Thursday, did the maintenance and the work they needed to do. He's out here competing for the Pro-Am lead in this one with Cale Phillips.
These back-to-back races, have their logistical challenges for the teams, but it's really interesting all the stories that you hear of how they go about those challenges.
Yep. Tim said, yeah, if it wasn't for my day job. But started a business several years ago, and it requires his attention and his presence. So he did the airplane shuffle from Indianapolis to Orange County, California, and back to Milwaukee to be able to compete here at Road America this weekend. So he's running right now second in Pro-Am and 17th overall in that Chevrolet Camaro. Right behind them is another one of the West Coast drivers. The red, white, and blue machine there is Michael LaPaglia. Michael out of Murrieta, California, which is between Los Angeles and San Diego along the 15 freeway. Michael had a great run going at Indianapolis last weekend in the Pro-Am competition, leading it at one point, and then had a mechanical problem that caused him to fall back and eventually out of contention in that race.
He's starting to put a little pressure on Carroll.
Saw Michael the other night. His Keek team came straight up to Wisconsin. He's got family in the area, so they've spent the entire week here in Wisconsin after Indianapolis. Really enthusiastic supporter of this TA2 racing concept. And again, one of the regulars in the Trans Am Western Championship for these TA2 cars. Next race for the TA Western Championship is at Laguna Seca, WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca, at the beginning of October.
It's almost like they need just a little more pavement on that runoff area. They keep hitting that little dusty spot.
Yeah. Got Keith Prochek, the Pro-Am winner at Indianapolis, running right behind them. That blue and black machine trying to close in. Keith out of the Chicago area. And his HP Tuners Colt Race Cars machine. So this racing going on for the lead in Pro-Am, and again for 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th overall. Jared Odrick runs 20th next in line in the race, but there is Jared, that black and gray machine, trying to make up the lost ground from the problem earlier.
He lost a lot of ground too, so I'm thinking maybe he's got his car running pretty well, but he's got some ground to make up.
Yeah. Race for fourth position here. Noah Harmon putting pressure on Gian Buffamani. What a great drive Harmon had last Sunday in Indianapolis.
I thought he was going to be able to get up there and challenge for the win, but maybe he used up just a little too much car to get there. Oh, wow, look at this.
He's used it all, isn't he? Is he going to get a run on Buffamani here down to Canada Corner, the braking zone coming up?
He's there.
Not quite enough.
Great job by Buffamani to hold him off there. He had the spot, he had the position.
He drove that in late on the braking, didn't he?
On the outside. So Noah's got to regroup here and say, okay, how am I going to get by this guy? Yeah. Not going to be a gimme.
Noah, the 20-year-old from DeLand, Florida. The High Point Rockers Cube 3 Chevy Camaro for Silver Hair Racing. Talking to Noah's team owners at Silver Hair this weekend here, they said when he got out of that car last Sunday, you knew he had given it his all. He was worn out.
Trying to make another challenge.
Fourth place here while Elio Meza continues to lead Matthew Brabham by 1.1 seconds at the head of the line.
The trick here is to have a good turn three so you can get this big run to be close enough to outbrake somebody down in turn 5.
3 braking zones, 3 straightaways leading to good passing opportunities here at Road America. Here we come down.
60 miles an hour, making a move to the inside. Going to make it stick, too.
He's got to keep it on the pavement, getting off the corner to make it stick.
Yeah, great job.
And he
really
does so.
Pass. Textbook.
Noah Harmon up to 4th place. Now, while we're talking about Noah, say hey to Nick Middleton, the Chief Executive Officer and supporter of not only Noah Harmon's racing, but the entire series. Nick not with us at the racetrack this weekend. And hope he's able to get back soon. So checking in on this Pro-Am, Michael LaPaglia has gotten by Tim Carroll to pick up 2nd in Pro-Am and 17th overall. There's Cale Phillips just ahead, heading up the hill to turn 6. As we cross the midway point of this race, maybe some of the effort of the first half of the race beginning to show on the tires and the brakes and so on, and the handling of some of these drivers' cars.
Fuel load coming off a little bit. Balance is changing. Probably the brakes are getting a little bit hot, having to adjust on those, like we said before, to keep that brake balance dialed in.
Yep. So we're following the lead in Pro-Am here. Haven't missed much up front. Elio Meza by 1.1 seconds over Matthew Brabham. Alon Day another 0.9 of a second back in third. And those three drivers running 8 seconds ahead of Noah Harmon in fourth. The race you just saw Harmon getting by Buffamati. And now Gian is falling way back. There's a problem with that 95 car. He's on pit road. Gian Buffamati falling after getting passed by Noah Harmon for fourth place. So now Buffamati on pit road and falling out of fifth position at the halfway point, just past the halfway point of this race.
A lot of bad luck for the Toyota so far.
Yeah.
Well, we had one overheat, one had a broken shift handle.
We'll find out what this is in a minute. I'm sure Nate is sprinting down the pit lane at the moment.
Probably out of breath.
It's a long pit lane here at Road America, folks, and he's going to put his track shoes to the mileage test today.
Okay, back to this gap. You've talked about how Meza can manage that gap. And I have to give him credit. He's done that here because Brabham has been able to, consistently chew off a little bit, get within a second. Next thing you know, here he goes. Meza pops a lap and gets that gap back out to a second. So I think there's something to what you said.
But now it's going to get interesting because they're catching the tail end of the field. It's a 4-mile track. There's a lot of room to run before you get into some traffic. But there's a pretty steady diet of lap cars these leaders are going to begin to encounter. First up going to be the Seamus McKendry car that was involved in a spin earlier and has that nose damage, made an unscheduled pit stop. He's the first in front of the race leaders that they'll encounter here.
And we saw Brabham use lap cars in the Trans Am race at Indianapolis to come from second place. Martin Radiger had him really had him beat up there, and then they ran into lap traffic like this.
Yeah.
Brabham was able to pounce and get the lead back, get that win.
Yep. Well, Nate says transmission issue for Gian Buffamati.
Oh, that's too bad.
And so yeah, tough day.
These H-pattern transmissions are a challenge. They're relatively fragile. Looks like this lap car's going to move over and let the leaders come by.
Nice heads-up driving there from McKendry. The old drivers meeting dictation. Give them the courtesy you want when it's your day. This is their day.
Yeah, they can say that a lot, but sometimes they don't do it. But that time it worked.
Right. So here's for the lead in Pro-Am. Wow. Phillips in the red 99. LaPaglia, the red, white, blue 31. That's his off turn 14.
You don't think LaPaglia is pushing, smoking the tires under braking, and kicking up dirt on the exit.
Let's see if he goes for it here in the braking zone.
I think he will.
Might be a little too far back there.
He'll be late if he does.
Yeah. Only thing worse than being late for dinner is being late in the braking zone and not making it.
Okay,
here's turn 3. Side by side.
Yeah, this is going to be tricky, though. He'll be on the outside when they get to 5 if he doesn't get clear.
Phillips drivers left, LaPaglia drivers right for the lead in Pro-Am.
Okay, who's going to win this battle?
Did he make the crossover?
Made a move at it.
Yeah. And while they're messing with each other, here comes Jared Aldred catching up to this group.
Yeah, he's made up a lot of ground. He'll be in this fight. Well, he'll get side by side up there again.
I just hope they don't end up in a gravel trap somewhere. Race hard, but race. Off to the carousel and the kink. Again, these the top 4 in Pro-Am, all running together on the racetrack. Every time I see cars come to that corner, I hold my breath. It is so tricky.
I think they're holding their breath too.
Yeah.
Looks like Audrick's getting ready to make a pass on Carroll. Looking.
Side. And did they make contact?
I think they did. I think there was a little bit of contact, but Audrick gets the spot.
So after having trouble in that part of the racetrack, oh,
Here's
here comes Paglia. He's locking it up. Oh, can he make it work? Phillips crosses him over off turn 14.
This battle's not over.
What kind of damage did Michael LaPaglia do to that right front tire?
Yeah, it wasn't good. Yeah, and I've seen it a couple of times, too. He smoked that tire a couple of times under braking. Audrick's going to join this battle.
Phillips covers LaPaglia off, but again, turn 3 here's where Michael made the move last time. He's going to try it again.
He makes it happen this time.
And here comes Jared Audrick. His earlier career by trade, defensive lineman in the NFL. He smells the quarterback in proximity right now.
Yeah, he's playing offense right now.
I'm going to sack me a leader here in a minute.
Uh-oh, look here.
Yeah. Again, not missing anything up front. Still 1, 2, and 3. Meza, Brabham, and Day. Same gaps separating them. 1.1 seconds. Meza back to Brabham. Another. Day's getting a little closer to Brabham. About 7/10 of a second from second to third. And then a chunk of 8 seconds back to Noah Harmon in fourth.
Yeah, this race is winding down. There's still a lot of racing left with 8 laps, but
that's 32 miles.
Yeah, it's 4-mile racetrack, but it's coming down to it.
Yep. And this is the best action on the track. The race for the Pro-Am lead. Through the kink down the back straightaway they go. That's not very straight. It's a Canada corner.
I don't know how many laps ago it was.
We got a car in trouble. Where's a car in trouble? Somewhere just off that corner. There it is.
Yep.
Yeah. Local yellow.
That's a bad spot. That may be if they can't get going.
Joe
have to put a yellow out.
Joe Fodero, the Austin, Texas driver, that blue number 2.
Inside.
So second place in Pro-Am to Jared Audrick. Still watching. Still watching that number 2 car sitting over in turn 12. Local yellow only for the moment. And if he can't get that fired up, yeah, that's still for second though.
Yeah, they're still racing for that spot.
Full course yellow. Full course yellow with 8 laps to go is going to slow the field down and bunch him up because of Joe Fodero's car that came to rest at the exit of turn number 12, and he has not been able to get it fired back up and going. So the first yellow flag of what's been a very clean but pretty good race.
Yeah, it's been a lot of action, just not a lot of caution.
Yep.
They had to put that caution out, though. That car was in a really vulnerable spot.
So they call what's called a code 60 and slow everybody in the field to 60 miles an hour so they can get some safety vehicles out. They'll get the pace car in front of the leader. Then when the hazard is removed, they'll pull the code 60 off and allow the field to bunch up. Then we'll reorder the field for the restart.
The reason they do that is because it's such a big track. If you just put the caution out and the leader slows down, everybody else is trying to catch up, and they're going much faster.
Yeah.
This allows the safety equipment to get out onto the track, get to the incident where there's somebody maybe needs help, and it's really a good system.
So full course yellow slows the field with what will be now 7 laps to go. Elio Meza leads. The Pro-Am fight's been a great one. What will the restart bring for the overall race win? These stories and more to be answered when we come back to Road America.
Okay, so pretend this is your race car. It's on the trailer, and you have an accident. Ouch! At least your truck's insurance will pay for another one? Yeah, not so fast. Standard insurance won't replace your race car, whether it's in the trailer, in the paddock, in the garage, or the repair shop. But at Haggerty, we can protect it for what it's really worth anytime it's off the track. No matter what or where you race, all for less than a set of race tires. Haggerty, let's drive together.
Back live in Road America, Pace Car has the field gathered up for the first full course yellow of our Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series race at America's National Park of Speed. Elio Meza started outside the front row to Matthew Brabham. Meza got the jump in turn one. He's led every lap so far. The yellow erases the 1 second gap that he had and sets up a nice short little sprint to the finish.
The biggest thing going for Elio Meza right now is a single file restart.
Yes.
If they were to line up side by side again, I think Brabham has kind of got acclimated to this car a little more.
Yep.
He's certainly been able to match lap times almost the entire race. But, you know, matching lap times and getting a spot, that's two different things.
So you've got Alon Day running third. Maybe seeing this restart as his opportunity to try and get aggressive if he can. Noah Harmon is fourth. Laney Bice is fifth. Ethan Jacobs, the young Wisconsin driver, in his TA2 debut.
That's
running in
amazing.
sixth position.
Yeah, he did a great job in qualifying. Just really surprised a lot of people, including me.
And it's not a guy, you know, jumping in with one of the established multi-car teams. This is a family team out of Oshkosh, Wisconsin. His dad was an airline pilot and a flight instructor. Ethan is very much an aviation guy as well, but also a racing guy. He's been doing a lot of Spec Miata racing. This TA2 car is another whole ball of wax from that momentum-based Spec Miata. But what a great job he's doing. Car 91, 28-year-old Ethan Jacobs, currently fourth in the Mazda MX-5 Global Cup standings. Won a big race, the Mazda Shootout, a couple of years ago to get a scholarship, and he's running that national tour this year. But his TA2 debut here, that 91 car.
You hear him talk about how hard he was driving that car yesterday?
Yes.
The hardest he's ever driven.
Yeah.
That's saying something after running those Miatas. They're 10-10s all the time.
There he is right there.
He has a beautiful car. That blue and black.
Yep. So some of the drivers being called down pit road that are not on the lead lap to be reordered and taken out of the way of those who will race for the win today. As Pace Car leads the field across the start-finish line. 19 laps complete, 6 laps to go in our race. And remembering that due to the size and length of this track, race control can give the field the restart signal as far as turn 12 and have the pace car pull away and pull onto the pit lane and go back racing. So if they do that this time, we'll get a restart with 5 laps to go in this race. Let's check in with Nate Dreyer down on pit lane.
Yeah, I've had a chance to chat in with the SLRM1 crew, of course. Very fascinating here with the two teammates that are battling at the front, and kind of interesting as it's been pretty much radio silence for both Elio Meza and Matthew Brabham. Both their teams have mentioned that they've been quietly going to work. We know Elio, for 18 years old, is as wise of a driver beyond his years as you'll find behind the wheel trying to save things, and the same, of course, can be said for Matthew Brabham, getting comfortable with that race car. So pretty fascinating. It's been really quiet on the radio for both of those two guys at the front, and it's going to come down to this restart.
It's kind of one of the things you've had drivers over the years, Andy, in your time as crew chief and vice president of competition of cup teams and so on. Some guys want some company while they're in the car, and some guys just are focused on what they're doing.
The really good ones, though, are pretty quiet on the radio. I mean, the drivers that I've had a lot of success with, they don't want to hear a lot of just chatter. There's not much, especially in this race, nothing that the crew chiefs can do to help them. Yeah. They have what they have. A lot of times you got drivers on the radio, they're just using up some of that nervous energy maybe just to relieve a little stress. But I think that if you're, these top drivers, they have to concentrate. They don't really need to talk about it. They just need to get on with their work.
Let's squeeze in a quick break here and get ready for the restart and the dash to the checkered flag.
Rev up and get ready for race day with Mission Foods. The world's best racers and tastiest products come together to make every race delicious. Fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help you be race ready with easy to make recipes that will take your race day to the finish line. Keep your racing delicious and enjoy all the mouth-watering action. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Too fast, too tasty.
Big news for car lovers everywhere. Now you can get Next Gen at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store. Every Next Gen formula is built with advanced ceramic technology, and that means a deep gloss finish, serious protection, and long-lasting durability for your paint. World-class racing teams trust Next Gen to protect their race cars under the toughest conditions. And you can trust Next Gen to protect your car every day. Find Next Gen ceramic protection at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Get ready for race day with Stack Auto Lifts. The world's fastest racers and the most trusted garage lifts come together to elevate every moment on and off the track. From rugged 4-post lifts and powerful 2-post systems to space-saving single-post and scissor lifts, Stack Auto Lifts delivers strength, precision, and performance for every garage. Brought to you by Stack Auto Lifts, created by racers for racers. Proud partner of Race America for the 2026 season.
Welcome to RacingAmerica.tv. From the local short tracks to the road racing stars of Trans Am, we have you covered. Subscribe now for live access to over 200 grassroots races streaming all season long. Watch anytime, anywhere on your phone, tablet, or TV apps. Get a 10-year archive of grassroots races, plus behind-the-scenes NASCAR team coverage. And when the spotlight turns to Trans Am, Racing America brings you front-row access to the action. This is racing at every level. This is Racing America.
Back live, Road America. Pace car leading the field down to the final couple of corners as we get ready to go green with what will be 5 laps to go in our Cheese Capital Cup for the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series racing here at Road America today. 5 laps to go. Elio Meza leads. Matthew Brabham is second. Alon Day is third. Noah Harmon is fourth. Laney Bice is fifth. Rest of the top 10, Ethan Jacobs, Tyler Casera, Adrian Vlovstowski, Tanner Reif, and Eric Caton. The Pro-Am lead is Michael LaPaglia. He is 13th overall with Jared Audrick right on his back bumper as they come up the hill. And the green flag waves. 5 to go at Road America. Single file up front, double wide, a little farther back. Any mayhem, any chaos off the corner. So far, everybody's through well.
Meza did a great job there on a restart again, just like he did at the beginning.
Charging down the hill here to turn 5. Looks like Day with a poke to the inside of Brabham for second spot. Alon Day trying to make a move on his team car, Matthew Brabham. And now Brabham in trouble. Another car up to his inside.
Like Harmon.
So into the carousel they go. It's now Elio Meza leading. Alon Day runs second. Matthew Brabham is third.
Brabham almost lost that third spot to Noah Harmon in all that skirmish.
And Laney Bice right there in the thick of it as well. Now they thunder down the hill to Canada Corner. There's the gap, first to second. Now it's Alon Day who's second and Matthew Brabham is third. Familiar foe out the windshield for Alon Day and out the rearview mirror for Elio Meza.
Meza just crushed that restart. Look at the gap he was able to pull on those guys to not have any pressure going into these braking zones. I fully expected Brabham to be able to challenge on this restart. He actually got challenged and passed by Alon Day.
And while we've been watching this, the lead has changed in Pro-Am. It's now Jared Audrick who's the leader in Pro-Am, with Cale Phillips second. And the 31 car of Michael LaPaglia has been shuffled wide. Ethan Jacobs on pit road. We just sang his praises a minute ago. The young Wisconsin driver is on pit road with 4 laps to go.
I guess it's the old announcer jinx we put on him. Ethan did such a good job all weekend long.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he's got the winning net coming down now.
Yeah, that's too bad. Car that's pulled off at turn number 5. That is the 64 of Matt Gray, and he looks like he's beyond the barriers, so he'll be okay, and we'll stay under the green flag there.
Mesa able to pull even more of a gap to Alon Day.
He's got it by 1.7 seconds now, and Brabham doesn't look like he's got anything to muster any kind of a challenge. Want to check myself. Scoring is updated here. Michael LaPaglia is still leading Pro-Am. That's my error. I passed him over on the scoring, and looking at the computer, he's still leading Pro-Am. He's in 11th spot, and he's got Stanton Barrett between himself and Jared Audrick. Now, as I say that, he disappears from the scoring monitor again. So either there's a transponder issue there, and we'll check out the window, the good old-fashioned way, to see what's going on there with the 31 car. He may be stopped at the pit entrance.
Yeah, we're talking about LaPaglia.
Yeah,
I think he is.
Is that him, driver's
that's him
right?
on the right there.
Okay.
So I think he's out of it right now. I think Audrick is the one that's got the command of the Pro-Am's.
He has taken that. He has taken that lead in a nice rally from his earlier spin. So that's tough. That's 2 weeks in a row. Michael LaPaglia has been in contention to win the Pro-Am title in Indianapolis and here, and it's gone away in the closing laps. And there is that 31 car stopped.
He's out of the way, though.
Yeah, we'll stay under green there, but that's tough for the driver from California. That's a tough 2,000-mile trip home after 2 races that were so close yet so far. There's the gap, first to second. Day taking that defensive line. Noah Harmon again this week. Didn't get everything he wanted out of qualifying, but what a charge he's made on race day.
It's kind of the same thing last week. He was having to pass a lot of cars at Indianapolis. Talked to Gil Martin and that team. They do a really good job with these cars and put Noah Harmon in a good spot here.
So Harmon running now in 4th position and in contention to maybe try and make a challenge for a podium finish here in these final laps. There's Harmon's on board. +90 miles an hour through the carousel.
That's a really cool corner. Like I said, you got to be good there. And it takes you down to that kink. If you carry enough speed, you can really make up a lot of ground. I'm just so impressed with Mesa. He just, every part of his game, this is, the restarts, the qualifying, everything, the way he thinks about, like you mentioned, maintaining a gap, managing a gap. He's just so good at this.
It's one of the things about this racing. You work hard enough to get a lead, but if you use too much of your stuff and you get that late full course yellow, do you have enough to fight for the win? Well, he always seems to manage it beautifully.
He does. I'm really surprised that Brabham wasn't able to at least mount a challenge to him. And it looked like he was going to be able to. Like I said, just match lap times throughout that run. Now he's trying to get that 2nd spot back. I'm not sure he's going to be able to do it.
Yeah. Wow, Alon Day hanging it out sideways off turn 1.
You don't have to worry about whether he's running hard.
That's
you can
right.
see it.
Yeah. 17 car. and hanging it out off turn number 3. Let's check in just behind the top 5. Tyler Casera running in 6th position. Tyler's normal job in this TA2 series is as a driver coach for Nitro Motorsports, but he's been behind the wheel last week and this week. And the 41-year-old from Mannheim, Pennsylvania, among his people that he helps coach, by the way, Jared Audrick, is running inside the top 10. There he is in 6th place, fighting with Tanner Reif for 7th. Reif's had a solid drive all day. Adrian Lofstovsky there in 9th position. And Eric Caton also with a solid drive up into the top 10 today. That's Casera in the 90, and he just gave up that spot to Tanner Reif. So Reif now into 6th, Casera to 7th, Lostowski in 8th, Caton in 9th. Jace Denmark has driven up into the top 10 in the 68 car. Been a day of heavy attrition. Been a relatively clean race for the slugfests that some of them have been here before.
Talk about managing that gap. Maybe the last lap was, quite a bit slower. About a second, a little more than a second slower than Alonde in 2nd place. But he maintains that 1 second, that 1.2 second gap. He's done that the entire race.
And there is that race for 6th, 7th, 8th, and beyond. Is that Meza off the pace?
Oh, yeah.
Meza's off the pace. The leader's off the pace. He's fallen back to 3rd and slowing. The lead changes hands at the white flag. Elio Meza off the pace, coming off the final corner to the white flag.
That was a shocker. I thought it was a lap car.
He was wiggling the front of the car like something mechanically wrong, a tire going down.
Maybe he's out of fuel.
Maybe. But now, here's the race for the win. It's Alonde leading, Matthew Brabham 2nd, as Meza continues to fall back into the field. A brilliant drive gone wrong, but now we focus on the race back to the checkered flag as we're on the final lap here at Road America. Alonde leading Matthew Brabham. Down the hill they come to the braking zone at turn 5. Noah Harmon right there running in 3rd if these front 2 tangle. Can he take advantage?
Okay, this is the most critical part. You see the damage. There's some damage on the left rear of Brabham's car. It probably happened on the restart.
Turn 8. Now that long, fast carousel corner to the ever tricky peak.
And Alonde doing a great job keeping just enough gap where he can't get to the bumper. Well, what a heartbreaker for Elio Meza. He just did everything right today. Don't know what they have going on right there.
One more heavy braking zone to go right here. Turn number 12. Day able to stay in front of Brabham for now. Now they'll come back up the hill. Around turn 13. Slow it up for turn 14. Then see if they can accelerate all they can up the hill to the checkered flag. One more corner to go.
He's got it now.
He ran 3rd most of the race, got 2nd for Matthew Brabham late, then problems for the leader, puts Alonde in victory lane at Road America for his 2nd win of the season. Brabham finishes 2nd, Noah Harmon with a podium finish in 3rd. Laney Bice gets 4th as Elio Meza continues to try and limp around to the checkered flag. And the championship leader runs into trouble coming to the white flag with the race lead at Road America. There's your Pro-Am winner. Jared Audrick gets to the checkered flag first over Cale Phillips and Tim Carroll. But all the attention in this one focused up front as Elio Meza dominated this race. He winds up finishing in 18th spot.
What a heartbreaker for him. But for Alonde, this is, like I said, he's frustrated not having a car are able to win one of these lately, except for the one in the rain. Now he gets one on the dry track.
He does. It came with a twist of plot. This one did. Near the end of the day, it wasn't either Matthew Brabham or Elio Meza who's going to stand on the top step of the podium. It's Alain Day who picks up his second win of the season. The victory podium coming up as we wind things down after an exciting finish at Road America.
Okay, so pretend this is your race car. It's on the trailer, and you have an accident. Ouch! At least your truck's insurance will pay for another one? Yeah, not so fast. Standard insurance won't replace your race car, whether it's in the trailer, in the paddock, in the garage, or the repair shop. But at Hagerty, we can protect it for what it's really worth anytime it's off the track. No matter what or where you race, all for less than a set of race tires. Hagerty, let's drive together.
Well, one of those races at Road America today for the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 series that is just going along in rhythm and all of a sudden makes your heart skip a beat and brings the energy up at the end. That late twist of plot puts Alain Day in victory lane. He ran third for most of the race, got second for Matthew Brabham after a late restart, and then took the lead over when Elio Meza had an either tire or rear end problem coming to the white flag.
Yeah, but I'll say Alain Day earned this one today. He really put a lot of effort in this and hung right with them the whole way.
Jared Audrick took the Pro-Am title, finished 11th overall in this one.
That was after being backwards at one point.
Yeah, down in turn 12. Nice recovery there for Jared. As you see those drivers who are in podium positions today here at Road America beginning to gather for the post-race festivities. A couple other things to wrap up while we wait. It looks like we mentioned the Ethan Jacobs car was an engine issue. Reported up from Nate on the pit lane. And again, tire or rear end issue on Elio Meza's car. They weren't positive, was the report up from the pit lane until they got their car and driver back in. But for Alain Day, a second win in the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 series. He won at Lime Rock, and he's now won at Road America.
Alain Day up and out of the JSSI 17 Camaro. You can see the emotion as he's picked up his second win in 3 races in TA2 competition. You can see the excitement, what this means for Alain. What a performance it was for him today, able to stay in the right position and pick up another win and maybe start to take that championship fight to his teammate a little bit as well. Let him get the helmet off and be able to get a word with Alain as he's picked up that second win of the season, is getting ready to try to chase that championship. He's done it at Road America. He's done it in some thrilling fashion for Alain Day as well. Quick word with the team as the helmet is coming off, and we'll be able to hear from Alain. Man, a second win on the season, and once again, it came down to you, able to put yourself in the right position at the end. But what does it mean to duel with Matt Brabham, duel with Elio Meza, your two teammates, and go to victory lane today? And what kind of statement do you think that makes?
This is not exactly the victory I want to have, especially when it's my teammate. But I will take that. I will take that. Sometimes you need some luck, and I'm just happy and grateful it was on our side. It's always nice to have the JSSI car again in victory lane. I hope it will bring us some good points for the championship, and we can fight and take it to Watkins Glen and fight hard with that. I'm glad that, you know, Team SLR still took first and second. Yeah, I mean, Matt was also pretty hard to pass. What can I say? But I'm very happy. Thanks to JSSI for giving me the opportunity to be here. To Team SLR that worked so hard to give us such a good car that dominating. What can I say? I'm happy boy, and I can't wait to go back home to my wife and kid. She's the real winner. She's there now with a 6-month daughter. So that's she's the real winner. Yeah, can't wait to go back home now.
Absolutely. We'll let you take that trip. Congratulations, Alon.
Down there, buddy. Good job. Thank you.
Alon Day goes back to victory lane. Let's check in with Pro-Am quickly. And Jared Odrick, well, that was a wild race. You wind up being able to take it home up front, keep your championship points lead. How did it all transpire, though? It was an up-and-down day for you and the team to fight back.
Yeah, no, we had a good weekend at the Kink. And so we were faster than a lot of cars in front of us at the start of the race. You know, our rear end broke during qualifying, and so that put us further back in the field than what our true pace was on our car and with our team. And so, you know, J1, Jared Settlemeyer, our crew chief, really got us back in the game by replacing the rear end. And so the thing was is that I made a move at the Kink because we were faster than a lot of people all weekend. And so I charged into Canada corner, and I passed Seamus. And Seamus then filled a gap behind me going into Canada corner, and I think he placed his rights in the dirt and then spun. So, you know, I'm really rooting for a guy like Seamus, a young kid who hopefully he's able to retain his confidence after something like this and keep his head up. But yeah, I mean, that's what's going to make him a pro is keeping his cool under fire when there's 4 cars in a corner.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Jared. Another really impressive performance today.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys. TRB, black underwear. Let's do it.
Jared Odrick joins Alon Day in victory lane. What a race it was at Road America today, guys.
Jared Odrick now becomes the all-time wins leader in the TA2 Series Pro-Am competition, a competition a few years old, and he, with his 10th Pro-Am victory, now the all-time leader in those wins. So congratulations to Jared and his team. That category alone today was worth the price of admission, let alone what happened up front.
It really was, and what a great interview from Jared, encouraging these other drivers that he's racing against to be better. Just a true professional athlete.
All right, more to come from Road America in just a moment as we examine the aftermath of today's Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series race at America's National Park of Speed.
Rev up and get ready for race day with Mission Foods. The world's best racers and tastiest products come together to make every race delicious. Fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help you be race ready with easy to make recipes that will take your race day to the finish line. Keep your racing delicious and enjoy all the mouth-watering action. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Too fast, too tasty.
Big news for car lovers everywhere. Now you can get Next Gen at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store. Every Next Gen formula is built with advanced ceramic technology, and that means a deep gloss finish, serious protection, and long-lasting durability for your paint. World-class racing teams trust Next Gen to protect their race cars under the toughest conditions. And you can trust Next Gen to protect your car every day. Find Next Gen ceramic protection at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Get ready for race day with Stack Auto Lifts. The world's fastest racers and the most trusted garage lifts come together to elevate every moment on and off the track. From rugged 4-post lifts and powerful 2-post systems to space-saving single-post and scissor lifts, Stack Auto Lifts delivers strength, precision, and performance for every garage. Brought to you by Stack Auto Lifts, created by racers for racers. proud partner of Race America for the 2026 season.
Welcome to RacingAmerica.tv. From the local short tracks to the road racing stars of Trans Am, we have you covered. Subscribe now for live access to over 200 grassroots races streaming all season long. Watch anytime, anywhere on your phone, tablet, or TV apps. Get a 10-year archive of grassroots races, plus behind-the-scenes NASCAR team coverage. And when the spotlight turns to Trans Am, Racing America brings you front-row access to the action. This is racing at every level. This is Racing America.
Back live, Road America, after today's exciting Round 7 of the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series. A lot to unpack in the aftermath of this one. Championship standings for the series with Elio Meza's problem on the last lap and his 18th place finish, along with Alonde winning. The championship two are now separated by just 14 points. Headed to what will be an interesting Watkins Glen doubleheader weekend on July 18th and 19th.
Yeah, he's able to close that gap by just some bad luck of his teammate, Elio Meza, but it's going to tighten up the championship.
And the Pro-Am Championship, Jared Odrick extending his advantage in that competition with his 5th win in 7 tries this season in that category. The 2 winning cars pictured at the victory podium there for you. Let's see, some other things to just touch on as we go throughout. Adrian Blastowski and Eric Caton, nice top 10 finishes, along with Jace Denmark. Stanton Barrett came through with a top 10 run for Stanton. And the list of drivers who had great runs that maybe went unnoticed by all the action up front. Tanner Reif, what a solid drive.
Yeah, he was constantly, making spots and keeping his track position and improving, and gets a top 5 finish out of it.
Started in 14th place. You look further down at some of the others just outside the top 10, and that great fight that we had for the Pro-Am overall victory. J.C. Monet, one of the West Coast drivers, coming through with a top 15 finish today. Roberto Sabato, hadn't seen him since Road Atlanta. Doug Winston, solid trouble-free drives for those as well. Gavin Gleitzman wound up having some difficulties and lost a lap pretty late in the race. And you look at the rest of the finishing order. And when we get down to this point on the rundown, I think Toyota troubles today.
Yep, the Tovos both had trouble. Bufamate had trouble.
Yeah.
After actually running really well.
So that is what happened today. And again, the main story of the day, Elio Meza led all the laps, but had a mechanical issue of some kind coming to the white flag and wound up finishing back in 18th spot. He outdueled Matthew Brabham from the front row for the pole, avoided all the mayhem that was going on behind him. Really had some good racing today here at Road America. And in the end, those who survived the chaos wound up with some pretty good finishing spots. A great drive today by Noah Harmon in that 7 car as he came through for a podium spot. But up front, Alonde got by Matthew Brabham after a late full course yellow for second and was in position to take the win when Meza slowed, coming to the white flag, and Alonde picks up his 2nd win in 3 tries. We're back here in a month, July 18th and 19th, with a doubleheader from Watkins Glen, New York. For Andy Petrie and Nate Dreyer, Alan Bestbrook, on behalf of our entire Racing America crew, it's good night from Road America. Alonde is your winner.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of Racing America. We hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
They're starting early because they're trying to beat the rain.
All right, partner. I'll see you at Watkins Glen, I guess.
Yep, I'll talk to you shortly.
Yeah, we'll be talking.
If I don't see you at the airport. Okay.
Welcome to the race in progress for the final race of the day for the F1600 class, as these drivers getting a little earlier start than originally scheduled. Thanks for joining us on the Racing America stream. My name's John Phippen, alongside the voice of Road America, Eric Miller, as we'll give you the last two races of the weekend, the feature races for the F1600 as well as the Atlantics and the F2000s. But the F1600 race is underway, and it looks like the 33 is out in front. David Adorno, as he has got the point, coming down into turn number 8 on the first lap of the race.
And Adorno had a pretty good run at the front for a couple of laps, and then the car, as the fuel load started to burn off, struggled a bit on the tires and kind of fell back to third, fourth, and fifth at one point. And then, of course, we had some pretty good racing up front. These F1600 cars like to stay nose to tail, line of stern, and it looks like as well the 75 machine there of Axel Leroy up into the third spot, trying to spice things up, as well as Cooper Travis.
Cooper Travis had a great comeback run in the race earlier today, and Cooper Travis has taken over the lead. Adorno in second, and then Axel Leroy right behind him, as this race is far from over, as we've got this field coming up through Thunder Valley and heading down toward turn 14, the final car. We're a little breathless because we had to swap the announce booth with Alan Bestwick and Andy Petrie, who just wrapped up the coverage of the Q3 Architecture TA2 Series race. An exciting finish to that one as well. But nothing quite like these F1600 races. They are some of the best in the business. Certainly some of the best open wheel races you will ever see, as they work their way across the line to complete race lap number 1. Travis setting fast lap, then Adorno, the lead Masters driver, then Leroy, then Phil Kingham in that blue number 47 up into 4th spot. But 4 wide as they head down into turn number 1 once again.
Kingham into that third spot on the entry to turn 1, John. Looked like he made it 3 abreast down the front stretch towards the end of pit lane, and then swerved back to driver's left, held on to that third spot, but Adorno trying to battle back on the inside as well.
Just outside him, Axel Leroy in that number 75, as he's in the thick of it. Boss Patel in the red number 6, just a couple positions back. David Ybarra, who was the charger in the race earlier today in the 06, back in 6th in the early running here, but there he is working his way down to the inside. No, sorry, that's the 75 of Axel Leroy. Similar livery on those two cars. Here comes Ybarra as he dives down to the inside of Kingham as they get down into turn 5.
Rise up the hill towards that blind left-hander. Adorno out in front at the moment, and Cooper Travis right now settles into the 2nd spot. A little bit of a lead pull here for Adorno,
as they work their way through turn number 7, down to Hurry Downs, down toward turn number 8. Great drone shot here as we're seeing from on high as they come down into turn 8. You can see Axel Leroy trying to make a move there on Phil Kingham. He has to drop back in single file. Getting away up at the front, David Adorno, the Masters driver. Second is Cooper Travis in the 17.
Talking about Cooper Travis in that first race, he got spun around in turn 12, was almost 3/4 of a lap behind, and then benefited with the full course yellow, able to gather back to the field and able to push into the top 3.
Exactly right. That was a great last lap, as we had the white and green shown simultaneously for the last lap of that race, and it was a thrilling finish. And let's hope we can stay green all the way here.